FBI agents raiding the home of former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort last month, taking notes and documents in the pre-dawn search.
So what does this mean for the president? Here to weigh in, it's Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, unlike some FBI raids that we have seen in the past where they haul out all the computers and all the papers and pretty much everything in the house, they had a very targeted list of things they were looking at.
You know, the requirement, good morning, guys. The requirement for a search warrant is set forth in the Constitution. It's the most specific part of the Constitution, the Fourth Amendment. The search warrant must, quote, specifically describe the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized.
And probable cause?
Yes. Probable cause means that FBI agents went to a federal judge in secret and persuaded her that it was more likely than not that in Mr. Manafort's house they would find evidence of a crime. And they also had to persuade her that even though Paul Manafort is represented by extremely competent counsel, working with special counsel to exchange documents, they didn't trust Manafort, or they didn't trust his lawyer, or they were worried the documents were going to disappear, and hence they had to use this extraordinary tool of a pre-dawn raid, the most forceful thing the FBI can do to you, short of an arrest in the middle of the night, which they can only use when all other means of acquiring information have failed.
So what were they looking for?
It's a great question. They may very well have been looking for something totally independent of Manafort's relationship to the president.
It could have been personal.
Yeah, it could have been personal. It could have been his taxes. It could have been was he being paid money by a foreign power at a time that he wasn't registered as a foreign agent? Because the modus operandi of the way of doing things I love you.
You guys knew I didn't.
Of the FBI is often to indict a person who's involved with some bigger person looking for on an unrelated matter, and then get him to flip as a state witness. They may have done this to General Flynn, and we don't know about it.
Couple of things. He usually is in Florida. They wanted him to be there. I wonder why. They wanted to maybe reinforce the drama of the whole thing. Politico also reporting that Manafort's son-in-law, in an effort to increase pressure on Trump, was also approached by investigators, this guy named Jeffrey Yohai. They wanted to start circling in Manafort's orbit.
The more people they can bring in and hold the sword over them of we're going to indict you or we have indicted you until you tell us what we want to hear. It's the way they put together the puzzle of a case against whoever their true target is, whether it's President Trump or somebody else.
It's amazing how little patience they have for this investigation as opposed to the other investigations that were ongoing, isn't it?
Brian, this is so much more aggressive than the investigation of the investigation of Mrs. Clinton didn't even use a grand jury.
Right.
But when they raid the house, they must have told the federal judge that we can't get what we need by an ordinary subpoena from a grand jury. That means that they think that Paul Manafort or his lawyer is somehow not being faithful or truthful.
Is this a good thing for the president? Do you agree with the people that have been on Fox that have said this is a good thing for the president because it exonerates him and puts the focus on Paul Manafort?
I disagree. This is a bad thing for the president. This means that FBI agents have told a federal judge there's some there. We don't know what it is.
Right, but
a federal judge would not authorize this extraordinary tool without something there.
It could be related to Paul Manafort's dealings overseas for decades. He has worked with other countries.
It could very well be totally independent of the president, but they want him to talk to them about the president.
When you put your hands like this, you're like a it's like one of the super friends.
I'm just trying to show a little authority.
Right, it's working.
You taught me to do this years ago, up in radio where the cameras weren't working.
All right, Judge. Thank you very much.
By the way, my iPhone hasn't been working since you shot
Sorry about that.